Nowadays they call them. Nowadays they call them politicians in general.
One thing though about back to Roosevelt actually.
Yes.
Eleanor Roosevelt, his wife.
The one that lived to see Frank Sinatra on TV.
Yeah.
The old bat.
She and I'm not dogging any previous first ladies before her, but
not that you should be dogging anybody in general,
but she actually was the first lady to take more of an active role and getting involved. And
that's true. And then some of the recent presidents' wives have done some wonders and some disasters. I mean, like Betty Ford, she got cleared of her own clinic. That was a good thing. The bad thing might be Michelle Obama with the Easter egg hunt on the White House.
Yeah.
Well, now, did you see the photos from that?
Yeah.
Okay, did you notice that it was all black kids?
Yeah.
And they're calling white people racist.
Wow. So the Democrats, knowing that Obama's going to seek re-election here, are saying, wow, this is a time that we have a rare time here to actually prepare or
over there
or prep someone. So they check in with various people to see if who actually is interested that has currently said they weren't or is recent and when they found out that, as it turns out, Hillary Clinton is interested in 2016. So then their thoughts were, hey, who will be finishing as governor at that time? Andrew Cuomo of New York. Wow, a Hillary Clinton Andrew Cuomo ticket.
Any relation to Perry?
No, he's the son of Mario Cuomo.
Mario Cuomo, he sounds like an illegal immigrant. Somebody search him.
But the DNC, thinks that would be a...
Oh, taking care of it? I could read this.
No,
I'll probably get
the Deuteronomy National Council. No, the Democratic National Council. Moses was above the Deuteronomy National Council.
Chuck Esco was part of that, wasn't it?
And okay, so and I did see a film. It's a comical film, and it did have to do actually with the Book of Herschel, which is an actual book. So if you see the film and you don't really believe it, do check out the Book of Herschel. It's more talked about in the Reform Judaism, not so much in the Orthodox. Anyhow,
you said duties.
There's a film called Holy Moses, which shows Moses pushing away Herschel, in their little thing sitting down the river. It's a comical film. It has Dudley Moore in it and Richard Pryor and a number of other.
Yeah, talk about politically incorrect. Richard Pryor. Dudley Moore.
Oh wow.
And I just saw speaking of movies, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
And it's worth it. Check it out, dude. Check it out. Of course, you may want to wait till it's at the the Roxy, Melrose Roxy over here.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to say that we, being my dad and I, went to go see it at the Majestic Den out in Williston, Vermont. For those who care to look it up. Not that you should, but no, I'm kidding. It's a nice theater. If you're broke. But no, seriously, good movie, I think. My dad was kind of like, but for those who don't know, you probably do, but for those who don't, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. The story is a man goes disappearing shortly after the disappearance of his son.
Yeah.
And years later, like a few generations later, this woman is helping a man refurbish and restore the house.
Yeah.
And a child, his child, comes to live with them, kind of unexpectedly, somewhat planned. And in addition to dealing with what they're calling her mental health issues from the other coast, because they're in California versus
the left coast.
Yeah. So basically, the polar opposite coast kind of thing. In addition to dealing with the mental health issues, she starts to hear voices of these little gnomes, pixies, fairies, whatever you want to call them, that are bad and human. I scared myself. Living in the basement. Furnace. But, figures they're devilish creatures and they're living in a furnace, which is hot as hell. But, so it's an interesting movie. So it's visually stunning as hell.
Yeah.
And Katie Holmes turns in the performance of her career at this point, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, check it out. And for anybody that likes Katie Holmes or horror movies, it's definitely worth a look. It's visually arresting, if nothing else. Apparently, a spectator. Temporarily. I know what you're looking for, sir.
Yes, I did.
Right on. And what you look for?
All enjoy.
Oh, joy. Slightly redundant. Oh, my joy. Oh, joy. That's good. Up the street, the searchers that come marching down. That was almost funny, too. I wish I'd enjoyed it.
That's like the new Candy in Hell on Fireballs.
No! Did I ever tell you that story about my mom? She went into a gas station. This is true story. So only my family could this ever be true. But my mom went to a gas station one time. And you know how they have the convenience stores? Yeah, well, she went in and she was looking for fireballs. But she can't remember the name of them for the life of her. How she forgot, I'll never know. But it's so simple. Fireballs. Just think your crotch is on fire and work from there. But anyway, so she goes in and she sees this guy behind the counter and she says, "Do you have hot balls?" The guy just stares at her. And she goes, "You know, the little candies, hard, round, melt in your mouth." He goes, "Do you mean fireballs?" She goes, "Yes, that's it." He goes, "No." She goes, "Thank you very much, gets in the car. It has been back there since." But so I hope it's true.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, that's kind of like, you know, my equivalent anyways, things that you shouldn't say. Sitting up in Jane Sanders' office talking to her, I think I said this before on another podcast, if not, this will be her first. But it won't be a last, I'll tell you that. Actually, you know what, I did say this on another podcast, it just hasn't been over yet, so it's the first time you heard. But I was up in Jane's office. This was at the be-all end-all meeting, and that's what I called it in the emails, which I still have, by the way. But she violated my civil rights, as in most of the other people there, let's be honest. And she said to me, you know, Nathan, I don't think you know what it takes to run a college. I said, I don't think you do either. Call a spade a spade,
Yeah, and I remember some comedy nights. Mm-hmm. Okay, now this is Burlington College, so I don't think I would have tried this anywhere else. But during my routine, I started off with, what does Iowa stand for? Idiots out wandering around. What does Ohio stand for? Oral hygiene is optional. Then I said, what does Oregon stand for? Oral rectal experience given over noodles.
And you remember Sarah Mill's response to that? She was on the floor crying. So I hope it's true. That was wonderful. I was there for it too. I think we got it.
It's like the two trees. And there's two trees in the forest.
I know I'm going to regret this, but which two trees?
There's two trees in the forest.
Yeah.
And there's a little tree growing between them. And one of the trees says to the other tree, is that a sound of a birch or a sound of a beech? So the other tree says, I don't know, that's this woodpecker. He's a tree expert. So the woodpecker, pecks at it, taps at it, and then they say to the woodpecker, so, is that a sound of a birch or a sound of beech? And to which the woodpecker says, on the contrary, it's the finest piece of ash I've ever had my pecker in. Then there's the whale, along with the fisherman.
I know I'm going to regret this, but what's that one?
There's two whales, and one whale says to the other, hey, how about we go up there and blow some water through our blowholes and knock over that fishing boat? Just for fun.
Yeah.
So they go up there, they knock over the fishing boat, come down laughing their flippers off. And one whale says to the other whale, hey, how about we go up there and eat some of those fishermen? To which the other whale replies, hey, I'm all in favor of the occasional blowjob, but I refuse to eat the semen.
No! I know somebody that liked that one, because I watched her. Baby
Zing!
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
But when did the zing bot come around here?
Yeah, right. Oh, a zing bot.
I'm sorry, that's a Big Brother reference.
No, I said, yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that. I don't watch that show. But, alright, speaking of my friend in Vegas,
Sin City.
Yeah. No, it's funny. When I saw her at her wedding, I had a joke because I hadn't seen her in a great many years, and she had gained some weight. She wasn't unattractive, but she wasn't that big.
Mm.
But I couldn't help but think of this joke because it was like when I had seen her, she looked kind of like I do now, which is just a slight bit of a pot belly for those who can't see. And average legs and all. As far as the dress went, but that's not the story. And I said that with the utmost respect, of course. Of course, nobody believes me, but it's true. But no, I saw her at the wedding. Who was in the back of my head? Raffy from the 80s, the guy that used to sing to kids, turned out to be into child pornography.
Yeah.
Took away his record album. You remember his song Baby Beluga?
Yeah.
His voice popped into my head going, I'm like, Jesus. The entire time, because I couldn't.
Actually, Baby Beluga is the song that plays over and over again on a tape that they get Baby Michelle on Full House. And there's a scene where Stephanie is singing it, and then she starts tapping her and goes, out, 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 out.
Yeah, out, and spot out, yeah. Highlight confusion as to where to go from there. For sure.
Since